Handle answers with wisdom. John chapter 6, verse 22 to 26. As believers, we should handle answers with wisdom. When we look at the account of Jesus Christ, there were many instances that happened where Jesus handled questions that were thrown to him with wisdom that we should learn from. He says, the day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other boat there, save that one whereinto his disciples were entered, and that Jesus went not with his disciples into the boat, but that his disciples were gone away alone. Howbeit there came other boats from Tiberias, nigh unto the place where they did eat bread, after the Lord had given thanks. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum, seeking for Jesus. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when comest thou hither? Then Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Now, when we look at this particular story, you realize that Jesus had performed a great miracle the day before. He fed them with plenty bread and fish, and they were filled. They ate, they were contented, and they went. But they saw the disciples departing from the sea into a boat because Jesus had sent them. But they didn't see Jesus joining them in that particular ship or boat. But Jesus moved onto the mountain. But then Jesus moved and joined them on the sea. Jesus walked on water and he joined them on the sea, and they went across the river. So when the people realized Jesus wasn't there, they looked for him, they didn't see him. But they realized his disciples had gone to the other side. Then it clicked them that it is possible Jesus had gone through a different means. So when they saw that he was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum seeking Jesus. Then the 25 said, and when they had found him on the other side, they said, Rabbi, when comest thou hither? They were asking him, Jesus, when did you come to this particular place? When did you come? Because they saw that he was not with them. So now they were trying to know the means of transportation Jesus took. Because one, you didn't join the ship, and there was no other ship that was there. So how did you come there? They were trying to solve that mystery. But what did Jesus tell them in the 26th? You realize that Jesus was very smart in his response. He answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw miracles, but because ye did eat the loaves and were filled. So Jesus evaded the question. Jesus didn't answer the question, how did he come there? Jesus didn't answer, I walked on water. Jesus didn't answer, I took a different boat that you didn't see me. Jesus didn't answer, I teleported. Jesus didn't answer, I flew. But Jesus had a smart way of telling them that whatever way I went there, it is none of your business. The thing is that you are looking for me because of food. So if you are coming for food, come for food. Don't ask me how I came here. Whether I flew, I disappeared, or I was buried and I dissolved and came here, it is none of your business. And in so doing, Jesus was able to save himself. Because if Jesus had shown the secret by which he moved, if he had said he had walked on water, he would be releasing some secrets to the people who were looking for him to catch him. Because the people were bent on finding something that they could hold Jesus off. If he had said he had walked on water, then they would have said, so you are trying to say you are God. It would have increased their hate more for him, and they would have found a cause to be able to trap him down. Let's look at the second one. John chapter 18, verse 33 to 37. That was when Jesus was before Pilate. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Jesus and said unto him, Art thou the king of the Jews? And Jesus answered, Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell thee of me? Pilate answered, Am I a Jew? Thy own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. Amen. So you realize that here, when Pilate was asking Jesus, are you a king of the Jews? You realize that the first answer Jesus gave was that, are you saying this because of revelation, or you are saying this because other people said it? He triggered Pilate. And you realize that Pilate got angry and said, am I a Jew? How can I be a king and I'm testifying of your kingship? Then he asked him that same question again. And Jesus, being smart, said, my kingdom is not of this world. So Jesus gave 2-in-1 answer. Jesus answered him by saying, I am a king, but I am not here to contest you. He didn't deny that he's not a king, because if he denied that I am not a king, it means Jesus is not the Messiah who is coming to save us, because he's a king that is being instituted here to save us all. So Jesus had to agree that he's a king, but he also had to put a disclaimer for the man to know that although I am a king, but my kingship is not to contend with you. Because if he says, yes, I am a king, he will be executed and killed without getting to the place where he's supposed to be killed. So he had to say, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom from them. In the book of John chapter 8, verse 1 to 11. Let's take it from verse 6. This was the story where the woman was caught in the adulterous act. You realize that it takes two people to commit adultery, a man and a woman. Why is it that they caught only the woman? They caught only the woman. Where was the man? But they were looking for a fault such that they could accuse and hold Jesus accountable. And the verse 6 says, and they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. 7. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest even unto the least. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, woman, where are thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. So you realize that they were trying to get hold of this man. They presented two cases. If Jesus had answered one way, he would have faulted the law and they would have gotten a charge against him. If he had also answered the other way, they would have said he's trying to exalt himself above the law. So whatever Jesus' answer would have been, he would have faulted. So Jesus had to convict the people such that they would realize that they are not holy. They are not pure enough. So when he said, anyone who is without sin, cast a stone at this woman, by the conviction of their conscience, they had to leave the woman alone. So when they all went, it was as at then he addressed the issue. He turned to the woman and said, I do not condemn you, but go and sin no more. That was a very wise way. There were always accusers that were standing in order to get Jesus faulty. Mark chapter 11, verse 28 to 33. And say unto him, by what authority doest thou these things? And who gave thee this authority to do these things? And Jesus answered and said unto them, I will also ask you of one question, and answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? Answer me. And they reasoned with themselves, saying, if we shall say from heaven, he will say, why then did ye not believe him? But if we shall say of man, they feared the people, for all men counted John that he was a prophet indeed. 33. And they answered and said unto Jesus, we cannot tell. And Jesus answered unto them, neither do I tell by what authority I do these things. He answered them a question with another question. And as he asked them, the people were trapped in a bottle. They were caught in their own net. If they answer him this way, he will find a way out. If they answer him this way, he will find a way out. So they said, we don't know. And he said, if you don't know, I'm not the one who will tell you. It was a very smart way of not answering the question. People usually give out a lot of secrets to the wrong people, and it tends to harm them. If you are not careful with your tongue, if you are not careful with the things you say, you end up saying the wrong things, or you end up giving your secrets to the enemy or the one who is directly responsible for your suffering. So you should be able to learn how to answer people. Whatever you do not want to go out, you should find a way of keeping it without sounding rude. So that is why we have puns. That is why we have proverbs. That is why we have wise sayings. I want you to know that your secret is your stronghold. If you are a man who has no secret, then you can easily be destroyed. A secret of a person or the secret of a nation is what makes them great and cannot be conquered. Once your secret is put out there, the nations can easily conquer you. So your stronghold, the power of your military lies in their secrecy. The Lord put the brain inside the head and covered with a skull because of the value of the brain. The Lord put the heart inside a rib cage and covered it with the ribs because of its value. So must you guard your secrets. If people know where you eat from, they will pollute it. If people, the source of your wealth and your income, they will pollute it such that you will just be like them. Not everybody likes or loves you. It's not everybody that wants your good. People will smile with you, but secretly, they want to get your secret and bring you down. A clever man knows what to say, but a wise man knows what not to say. If you are clever, you always look for the smart ways to say things and sound eloquent, but a wise man is the one who knows what not to reveal. He's the one who knows what not to say. You people can be sharing a lot of things, but he knows his limits. He knows where his threshold is, and he knows what not to go. He can be telling you his life experiences, but he knows that I don't have to pass this particular point because this is my secret. If they know my secret, I am dead. You have the right to say no without explaining yourself. A lot of us do not want to feel bad in the eyes of people. So because of that, you end up exposing a lot of secrets. Yes and no are two perfect examples to almost every answer, except that it needs a story to tell. If I ask you, I sent you to go and buy digestive biscuits, did you get it? You just have to say, yes, I got it. No, I didn't get it. But you realize that some people say, when I was going, the motor had a puncture or my fuel got finished. I went there, the store wasn't open. I had to wait. They weren't coming. So all that you are saying, did you get it or not? The answer is yes, I got it. Or no, I didn't get it. The moment you start explaining yourself, the moment you start giving reasons or a story, start creating avenues to show your incompetence. The moment you start with explaining yourself without being asked why, then you realize that you are already guilty. Because if you weren't guilty, why are you explaining yourself? It is because you realize that you are already at fault. That's why you are trying to present the reason why you weren't able to accomplish the task. So that the person will think that, okay, I shouldn't blame you. But if they ask you, did you do it? No, I didn't do it. Did you do it? Yes, I did it. And you keep quiet. So when they now ask you for a reason, when God asked Adam, have you eaten of the tree? If Adam has said yes, he had taken the blame. But you realize that he started with an excuse. The woman you gave me, you see, he was already justifying why he ate the fruit. But that wasn't even still good enough. When they went to Eve also said the snake. She also started giving excuse, and that's why they got punished. I want to believe that if Adam has said, yes, I ate it, and he stands on it, his punishment would have been lesser than the way he was trying to shift the blame. No matter what happens, you are not supposed to eat it. So don't shift the blame, because once you are shifting the blame, it means you are giving authority to someone else. Why are you supposed to be careful about the way you answer people? You are likely to spill your secrets right into the ear of the enemy. Enemies are very unsuspecting. That's why we have the saying that if an ant will bite you, it is mostly in your skirt. Some people are always looking for a fault, so there is no need for you to engage them or waste your time attending or explaining to them. You realize that at times you want to say something and some people are accusing you, especially people who are in relationships. When your relationship is left with 2 megabytes, you realize that whatever you are doing, they'll find a fault with you. They will look for reasons. Look, the more you try to explain, the more you even look guilty. So at the point, you just have to say, okay, whatever it is, that is it.